Westgate in his office getting ready for a really interesting evening. He is Coach Cusick. Talked to Digger Dawson earlier. He's going to be there presenting that incredible book that's all about Potter football history. You know, it's nice to have a fan like Frank Dawson, is it not, Coach?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, so much history just listening to him talk and how proud he is of the program and just the knowledge that he has and the pride that he has for the program. You know, it's infectious and, you know, he needs to be around and needs to be part of it.
Yeah, I tell you, I really enjoyed my 20 plus years with him, and I always love catching up with him. So let's get caught up. We're high. I'm reading in the review how a sluggish start and how Mr. Wright actually misfired on a couple of the early passes. But in the end, you put up over 500 total offensive yards. He throws two of them to the big tight end, that Kirby kid who's just having a tremendous year. If he's not blocking punts, he's catching touchdown passes. Nice performance. You're now 5-4. Did you ever know that this team could be this explosive offensively?
Well, that's what we were hoping. You know, we saw that last year. We were kind of growing into that team, and we were lacking that at the beginning of the season. We just were missing on some throws, you know, dropping some passes, missing on some blocks. You know, so the potential was there. We weren't executing. So now we are, and I think that's making the difference.
So one thing I do know, you got a lot of seniors on this football team. So is it reboot next year, or do you have some young men coming up who you believe are going to be able to answer the call?
We do have a lot of young players that I think can step up. And, you know, the philosophy of the program that we're trying to instill is just we don't reboot, we reload. And that's kind of what our mentality will be in the off season, you know. And I think the opportunity that a lot of our younger guys got this year, you know, we played a lot of sophomores and even a couple freshmen here and there that got some good quality minutes. They're going to have to step up. And, you know, we don't want to be a program that has to start over every year. We want to reload.
You know, back in the day, it was almost unheard of to even think the football program, as good as they were during some of my time here, would ever get into the playoffs. But once again, you're knocking on the door. First things first, Oak Glen. But it's just nice to be in that conversation, is it not?
Well, and that has to be part of what your program wants to be. You know, not only do you want to win as many games as you can during the season, but ultimately you want to get to week 11. And that's what, you know, we have the opportunity to do. And so that's our focus.
So if someone would say to you for the very first time meeting you, how would you describe your football team? Describe your football team to me.
I think we play with a lot of aggression and relentlessness. I think our kids are scrappy and play hard. So I think more than anything, I like the fact that they continue to work and play hard and might not always do things right, but we're going to play hard.
You know, one of the things that I noticed, and I was talking to Digger earlier today, and I remember my time 20 plus years ago being here, there's always this thing about the tradition of the blue and white. Whether it's this generation, the generation I covered, or even before I got here, that timeline, and I don't know if it's because of Digger's book or just what they do as far as the athletics and education is concerned, but no matter who you talk to, if they played football in East Liverpool or they're currently playing football in East Liverpool, they understand the history and what's at stake.
I think there's a tremendous amount of pride. I recognized that right away last year in my first year. You know, you have a lot of people that want to support the program and want to see the program do well. And it means a lot to them. You know, even if they've been out of school for 20, 30, 40 years, they want to see the program win games and represent the community. And that's what we're trying to do.
Well, you're doing a good job of it. Man, so what would you say if you would look at the early part of the season to where you are now? What are some of the things that you wish you had then, but you're so happy you have now? Go ahead.
Well, I think more than anything, it was just the execution. You know, we were just lacking that finishing play, that execution of the big play when we had that opportunity. We just didn't take advantage of those opportunities, and it cost us games. And to our kids' credit, those are the things we worked on in practice, and they just kept practicing hard. I say it week after week, but that mattered. And I think that's what changed things.
So during my tenure here, one of the biggest games of the year was always against your opponent this Friday night. And I know Oak Glen would like to definitely be in a better situation as far as their record is concerned. But man, this is their season. This is everything. And they love nothing more than to get that win. What does this rivalry mean to this school? I know this is only your second year, but I don't think it took you that long to figure it out. It's pretty special, huh?
Well, I think so. Whenever you have a situation, you know, the game has a title, Battle of the Bridge, you know, that matters. It means something. And, you know, it adds the intensity. It adds to the climate and the atmosphere on Friday night. And, you know, our kids have to realize that, you know, this could be their season. They could get a big win here, and we have to make sure that we do whatever we can to prevent that. And that's what we have to do.
You know, the other thing too, being around the game as long as I have and you have, you also realize for those 14 seniors or whatever the number is, could be it. I mean, the last time you fasten up the chin strap, you get that blue and white jersey over your shoulder pads, and it's something you'll take with you the rest of your life. So you want to make sure you take something positive, right?
Well, and I think that's hard for a high school kid to realize. You know, when you even talk about it, and you don't realize it until it's all over, and then you're like, "Holy cow, that went so fast!" But we've told them that, and we've told them that, listen, this is not just about senior night. It's also about getting to week 11 so you can play some more football, and that's what we're trying to do.
Look, I'm a little biased, and I know just about every assistant coach you have, but I got to believe one of the reasons you've had such a good formula and a successful one, you got a lot of local product on the sidelines with you, and that really has helped, has it not?
Absolutely. When I put together a staff, I did it for a purpose, and sought out guys with ties, in town here, and making sure they had that pride and wanted to see the program, continue to grow and succeed. And, because it matters to them. They have a lot of pride in when they played, and now they have a lot of pride when they're coaching, and it matters to them. And that's what we need.
Really special group of young men. I know you've enjoyed coaching them, but it must be nice to be here in the halls of Westgate every day and getting that vibe of young people wanting to buy in and maybe someday play on Patterson Field, and being in the shadows of Patterson Field. Today, as I rolled in, sun splashed skies, all of the banners blowing in the wind. This is a very special community, and it's a special football program.
It's exciting to be here every day and look out the window and see it, and seeing what we're trying to build and build upon. So, our young students here, a lot of them at first don't realize that I'm the football coach, and then they come to a game. One of the kids said, "Hey, Mr. Cusick, I saw somebody look just like you on the coaching the team." And I said, "Well, that happened to be me." And then then they get even a little bit more excited, and then the guys that are playing the Little League football with the Mighty Potters and the Little Potters, they start talking to me about it. And so it's exciting to see that enthusiasm grow in our young guys.
Listen, we may do it again, but in case we don't, you've really been gracious to me, and Digger and I were just talking earlier today how much you've done for this community and for fans of Potter football, and I happen to be one of them. And just continued success in whatever your endeavors are, but more importantly, just know that you're appreciated, okay?
I appreciate you guys coming here.
All right, Coach Cusick, getting ready for Oak Glen. Coming up, going to head to the alumni of East Liverpool because I've got a very special guest. I told you earlier today from the home office in Malacca before I headed to Pittsburgh, Bob Morris, who really was during the pinnacle of my time calling play-by-play sports here in East Liverpool, late 80s, early 90s, very successful coach and a real class act. We're going to have a chance to do a little throwback and step back in time and continue to talk about blue and white forever. It's your Pratt Pack. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Go Potters.